Wow, my screen's messed up. What's up and welcome to the Boys of Fall. One boy today. No, but I forgot to close my door, so my kids are gonna come running in here. But for some reason, we've got these black bars. The program that I use did an update, and I don't know. They made it so you can do like vertical streaming and horizontal, so like you can stream to like TikTok or something like that. No, bud, go. Anyway, Ty's having some internet issues, so we're gonna probably make this a little quick, to be honest. Anyway, say hi in the chat, all that stuff. But we'll get through this here. I've got some plays that I can share of my own. He had sent some notes through text, so we'll kind of rapid fire through his. And then as usual, I can kind of talk about whatever, you guys have the chat if anybody is here watching. I do see there's some people live though, so if you're watching watch on YouTube, put the comments in the thing there, whatever. The same goes for X. I can pull those comments up as well. Before we get going, too far here in the bottom of the YouTube link here, we have the promo code to sign up for the Discord if you're interested in doing that. I got a link there, got the code there. Get in there for cheaper than usual on your first month or 2 week if that's the route that you decide to go. If you're watching on X, it's at the top there as well. We're doing it solo. It's been a while. So if you, if you've been around, you subscribe to this channel. I used to go live every day at 11 o'clock, 11:30, something like that. Unfortunately, I had to move on and get a real job. Doing stuff like that does not pay the bills. Had a lot of fun doing lunchtime in the lab solo. But here we are, doing this. Recap here. From last week, week 11, we both went 3-2. The dogs for Ty did miss there. Appreciate everybody saying hi in the chat there. See a lot of the usual faces, but boy, IU nearly lost that game against Penn State, but Texas A&M they covered really easily. TCU did not cover. Wisconsin and Washington. Ty's always getting on me about taking unders, but boy, was that the right play. That was a slow, just gross game. And then Notre Dame covers their minus 27.5, called a homer, whatever. It works. Ty hit West Virginia team total, Jacksonville State money line, and Louisiana team total over 29.5. Had a couple misses on another team total and a full over there. But we're gonna go ahead and just kind of hop into it here. I do usually have the kids kind of running around. Actually, I want to retweet this because there's like my oldest is crying for some reason. I don't know why he's so sensitive all of a sudden. Unless he's like just making animal noises. All right. Anyhow, we're going to get through this here. Do me a favor and, if you're on X or whatever, retweet this, like the video, so on and so forth. And then at the end, like usual, we will do the questions at the end. So here we go. My first play for the day. Talking about being a homer, we're going to go with Notre Dame. Notre Dame plays at 12. I think that's where College Game Day. I think College Game Day is at Pitt right now. This is like the 74th meeting or something like that. Boys, chill. I'm so stressed. Father of 3. I don't know if you guys got kids, but they constantly just scream and squeal. 74th meeting or something like that. Pitt really just doesn't have the defense to hang with Notre Dame or to keep Notre Dame in this, and I don't think they have the offense to hang either. If they get down, I think get down early, they're gonna have a hard time wrestling the ball around. Notre Dame's got a really good defense. Pitt really just hasn't played any good teams. They've been kind of feasting on the bottom of the division, kind of boosting their record or whatever, if that makes sense. They're not really playing anybody good. This is certainly going to be not necessarily a wake-up call. No one's walking around saying Pitt's fantastic. Pitt's ranked 22nd. Notre Dame's ranked 9th. Notre Dame is ultimately just on a different level. Notre Dame has a different magnitude of players, stronger players, better players, faster players. Not quite SEC speed, but Notre Dame's obviously a good football team. Pitt at home. Even you know this is a plenty of a number here, minus 12.5. I think Notre Dame wins this probably pretty comfortably. This could be like a 17-point victory, like a 3-possession kind of touchdown win. I think here, well, not touchdown win, but 3-possession win or something like that. Second play, first play. So that first play is gonna be Notre Dame minus 12.5. We're a recap at the end here. And then I'm just gonna burn through my 5. We usually go back and forth if it's your first time, but Ty is not here at the moment. And then I'll go through his notes or whatever here. But second play is going to be an under. Michigan at Northwestern, under 41.5. And I've realized you may as well just take that to 42.5. You don't have to play a lot of juice. And that 42 is much more of a key number than the 41.5 really is. For those of you that are unfamiliar, they're playing at Wrigley today. Look, if you've hung out with me enough, you know that when we bet on baseball, if you like to bet on baseball, you pay attention to weather. I mean, all the time. I don't know whether or not it's windy in Chicago, but you know what they call Chicago, right? The Windy City. And when you're at Wrigley betting in baseball, if the wind's blowing out, you take the over. If the wind's blowing in, you take the under. Wrigley, by design, not really by design, but maybe by design flaw, is very influential of weather. It's one of the only ballparks in baseball where the wind is a just detrimental factor to the outcome of the game. So if we're gonna have wind coming in, spilling in, whatever, it's also one of these neutral site type games where it's kind of a weird environment. They even had it years back where they only had an 80-yard field and they had like flip sides every possession. Weird stuff or whatever. But the games are always weird going at a neutral site. Michigan is allowing the 12th least points in the nation. Northwestern is 20th. So both of them have some pretty good, scoring defensive stats, if that makes sense. So neither team gives up a lot of points here. Michigan, like I said, allows the 12th least. Northwestern, the 20th least. Michigan is 60th in points per game, which is, 28 on offense. And then Northwestern is 112th with 19 on average. So, I mean, neither team scores a lot. We have a weird neutral game at Wrigley Field, which, is big weather impactful. I did have this written down at under 41.5, but I mean, just take it to that 42.5 though, because that just makes a lot of sense, So, 42.5 under is what we're going to go there. Appreciate you, man. We've been not as much as we used to, that's for sure. I used to enjoy getting on here. I mean, it was an everyday thing when I was doing just this for a living. I still do this, but not, I had to grow up and get a big boy job here, unfortunately. But I appreciate you. Third play, like I said, we'll recap it if you guys are just getting in. USC minus 6.5. Probably a tough one. As I've looked around, could there have been better options? Maybe. I ended up looking at the Texas game pretty heavily. There's a lot of boosts in it, so I found myself looking to utilize those boosts in the Discord. I've got 2 plays posted in the Discord. But I went USC minus 6.5. I think ultimately USC does win this game. Ultimately, I do think they cover. Really just a gut play that tells me that USC is just a much better offense at home. USC is just a different team at home. Iowa, of course, isn't traveling across the United States. I was like, middle, essentially. I mean, I get a map out, I guess, but I'm fairly certain they're about middle, about the middle of United States. Haven't traveled across, the other coast, different time zone, of course, and you have that little lag or whatever. It might be a little sweaty. USC wins this game. I think they win it by more than a touchdown. We might be in a spot where Iowa is, kind of driving at the end, maybe scaring us a little bit, but ultimately, I think USC, covers this spot here. So USC minus 6.5. Is the spots to go here. Next play here, fourth play. This play I actually give out in the Discord already because there's a boost. I think I used the boost on DraftKings for this one. Texas, Georgia, first half under 25.5, 24.5. I think on DraftKings it was 24.5. FanDuel actually had the 25.5, but I wanted to use the boost because I used the FanDuel boost in like a different manner. But 24, 25, I don't think those are necessarily key numbers. 24.5 is a key number. We want over that, obviously, but 25.5 doesn't make any kind substantial, difference or anything. Georgia scores 16 points per half. Texas 14th. That's like 36th and 65th best in the nation. Texas allows just 8 points. Georgia allows just 12. Both of these teams are notoriously just slow starting teams. So I do think that this is a gross, grueling first half kind of matchup where we see just not a lot of points. We see hopefully not turnovers, hopefully a lot of punts and field goals. Field goals and punts are going to be what we're rooting for in the first half here. Ultimately, I think Texas could win this game. I think Texas covers. I would like Texas on an alternate line, but we're going to go Texas, Georgia, first half under 24, 25 and a half, whatever you can get it. I've written out 25 and a half because that is out there on FanDuel. As long as you can get it 24 or higher, that's where we want to go. And lastly, we'll wrap it off with the late game. I think this is the latest game on the slate. I'm going to check. Yeah. Nah, I guess there are a couple late games. 10:15 p.m. my time. BYU, TCU. I talk a lot about like the darlings of the podcast, whether or not it's me and Ty, or just teams that I like to bet on in general, But TCU is one of them, and I'm gonna bet against them tonight. I'm gonna go with BYU. Just a lot of motivation for BYU in this game. BYU needs to keep winning. They're chasing a playoff spot. They're ranked 12th. Different conference standings and whatnot get you in different ways, but there's only 12 teams to make the playoffs. They're trying to get in there in that Big 12 championship game. They've got a much better defense, in my opinion. Ultimately, I think that's going to be the difference. I think BYU can get enough spots here, enough stops on TCU and be able to get up, force TCU in some uncomfortable situations, maybe get Hoover to make a mistake. I can't remember if I said the number, but I might have said BYU minus 3.5. We want minus 2.5. Another alt here, but it's minus 132 on FanDuel. I mean, that's not terrible. I have no problem playing that. I'll play stuff up to like minus 135. Minus 140 is the absolute maximum, but it's just smart to get it under a field goal. It's smart to get under that key number. So we'll do the BYU minus 2.5. If you can hear my kids squealing, like that's just how it is all the time. So I apologize. Apologize for this being shorter too, because I mean they're just one of those things. The kids they're kids. All right, let me pull up this thing here. What in the heck? My screen's real small for some reason. But all right, anyhow. Hold on. I'm about to mute this and yell at these kids. Give me just a All right. The 5-year-old just tortures the 2-year-old, and then the 5-year-old is screaming and crying for no reason. It's my wife's, never home on Saturday mornings. All right, this is a recap. I'm gonna throw up the recap for. Here he goes. Mainly it's so we can see Ty's plays here. Like I said, Ty's usually here. Unfortunately, he was having internet problems. I know he's got like an office where he goes to, gets out of the house, does a lot of his research and stuff, and like the whole I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Like there's multiple of them. Their internet's down, I guess. It's happened in the past. So his internet's down. Last time it was down, it was out for like 3 days, something like that. So I gotta not a lot of information, but we're gonna fly through these here. Ties on Navy plus 10.5. These are ties, official plays for the podcast here for the show. Navy 10.5. Little blips about these. Salute to service. He says Horvath is back playing today, and they should be able to keep this within the number. This is the game Navy gets up for. Horvath has been out the last couple games. USF has just drastically fallen off, in my opinion. They started out hot. Maybe they were just playing bad teams or whatever. This is a game where I actually didn't write down his dogs for some reason. He has Navy as a dog. He has Navy as one of his dogs there. You can see, unfortunately, I got the missing bullet point, so it's my bad. But he thinks Navy could go out here and potentially steal this game here. So Navy plus 10.5 is his first play. Second play is Kansas State team total over 33.5. Oklahoma State is done. Every kid's entering the transfer portal, and K-State is still fighting for a bowl game. These last few weeks are important because you have to be at 6 games. Sometimes 6-win teams don't even make a bowl. Like if there's enough of them or whatever. Anyhow, though, we have a spot here where Oklahoma State just sucked this year, man. They were real bad, and we were able to fade them in a lot of points. But you get this transfer portal deal where a lot of these people are leaving. They have nothing to play for. Kansas State has everything to play for because they are trying to continue to win, trying to make a bowl. This is a spot where Kansas State just piles on the points here. Ty likes them for the points over 33.5. The third play is New Mexico team total over 33.5. I really like New Mexico in this spot. Colorado State has completely, they've mailed in the season as well. They have nothing to play for. New Mexico State, he says the same thing. Colorado State is also done. They've given up defensively. They can't stop anything, is what Ty says. So New Mexico team total over 33.5. Coastal plus 3.5. Another game that I looked at that I liked. Coastal keeps us within the number. Their offense is humming right now, he says, and they found their groove on offense and defense the last few weeks. I'm surprised to see that he doesn't have Coastal as a potential dog here, but he does not. Coastal, boy, I missed the Grayson McCall, Isaiah Likely days where they were just a fantastic football team, but they're starting to kind of come along again. I'm almost done, bud. Lastly, we got San Diego State minus 2.5. SDSU returns home after a loss on the island where strange things happen. Boy, they got whooped. I was big on SDSU, and then they turned around and they did. I slept through that game, and it started till midnight or whatever. But woke up to see that score, and I was pretty surprised. He says they get back get the W back today, and get back on track at home. They're one of the most complete teams and can score in all facets of the game. His dogs, he had Navy, Tulsa, and Jacksonville State. Like I said, I was surprised to see Coastal Carolina's not on there. Might not be as confident in that one. Just thinks, the number's good. Ultimately, when you take a dog, I guess it's for different reasons, right? Like there was Minnesota yesterday against Oregon. Do we ever think Minnesota was going to win? No, but I thought there wasn't going to be enough points to be scored in order to go over that total. So there's different ways to kind of look at it. Got a balloon? That's where we're at, guys. Now, go ahead. If I got some people here still watching, which there's a no. Okay, thanks, bud. Throwing balloons at me. Go get it. Go ahead. If you guys got any questions about any particular games or something, we'll look at them here. I've been going for almost 20 minutes or so here, where we usually go for about 30 or 40. But I'm flying solo here. Kids are being a little rowdy and whatnot. We actually got my youngest turned 1 on Thursday. We have his birthday party at the house on Sunday. So a lot of cleaning and stuff like that to do. We got all these. Hey, bud, come on, pal. He has no doesn't know how to control his volume. So recap here though, and I'll go ahead and drop something in the comments. You guys have any particular questions about games? Eli, hey, go please. Go find Sawyer. Go. You're too loud. On my side, we're going to Notre Dame minus 12.5. The Michigan and Northwestern game at Wrigley under. I put 41.5. Take 42.5, please. USC minus 6.5. Texas UGA under in the first half, 25.5, 24.5, whichever number you can get is fine, depending on what book you're betting on. BYU minus 2.5. Take the alt. I think they cover the 3.5, but it is silly to bet that number, honestly. Just get it under the 3. There's no use risking that when obviously you got a football number there. That's why the books give the hook. They're trying to force you to bet one way or the other, or make a decision based off that hook. If you just do the alt, get rid of that hook altogether, you don't have to worry about it. Navy plus 10.5 for Ty. Kansas State team total over 33.5. New Mexico team total over 33.5. Coastal plus 3.5. San Diego State minus 2.5 for Ty's plays. He is on Navy, Tulsa, and Jacksonville State for dogs. I'm going to change that for So it was Navy, Tulsa, and Jacksonville State. Before I forget. If we don't have any particular questions, probably get out of here. Throats hurt a little bit too. I mean, I'll just scroll through really fast too, just to be fair, or whatever, because we got a lack of content here, or whatever. But starting at the top here, just looking at FanDuel, obviously we think Notre Dame wins. Texas A&M wins, but do they cover the 17.5? I feel like that's probably the I think that 17.5 is probably big for South Carolina. My absolute favorite play out of the ones I picked, probably gotta look at them again. I mean, it's gross. Sometimes I do let myself, like, I sometimes afraid to trust Notre Dame because it's like that's my team. Like, I don't generally bet on the Vikings, although there's times where I'm like, oh yeah, Vikings win this game. But like I'm like, am my fandom getting in the way or whatever? But I feel really good about Michigan Northwestern under, to be honest. Two just really slow playing teams. As long as Michigan's not scoring these explosive touchdowns, Michigan Northwestern under 42.5. It's gross. Nobody likes playing under. Nobody likes to watch an under game, but that might be my favorite play. Real men bet unders. Let's see what else is some good games here. IU versus Wisconsin. IU could cover this 28.5. I've been real big on IU's team total. 36.5. Really would like that to be at 35, though, to be honest. If I was going to bet that, I'd probably try to bet. I would want to probably pull it down to 34.5, which is minus 142. Put like a juice reducer on there, something like that. Was actually looking at, they have IU on here to win by shutout for like plus 350. I don't hate that. Wisconsin's not very good. IU is obviously great. Thinking about putting together, there's that Bussin' with the Boys or whatever boost on FanDuel. Thinking about doing, like, it's got to be 3 legs. Like IU, I don't know. We can build that maybe for those who are still hanging out. I know that I can see there's not many people. Was thinking about like IU to win in a shutout. I really do think I really like New Mexico as well. Minus 650 is a really good leg just for like a builder or something, which is obviously that what I'm, known for or whatever. I do think Bama wins. Miami wins. USC obviously I think wins. I do think Tennessee can cover this 40.5. But like you hate to bet on that just because it's such a big number. What's their team total? They have it so like it's plus 3,000 for Tennessee to score 80 points. That's crazy. So you can have like for Tennessee to score 50 points, it's minus 115. I'm about to take that. We're gonna take that. No, bub. And then so that's plus 741 if we do Indiana win by shutout, which is plus 350. Tennessee to score 50 points. It's minus 115. We need another leg for our boost, so we can boost it by 30%. Guys, I think Texas wins against Georgia. Bama's undefeated at home, which isn't like, whatever. Oklahoma's got a good defense, but I don't think they're as good. Their offense isn't as good as their defense. So they can slow down Bama for a bit, but I don't know if I don't think they have enough to, like you said, to stun them. I don't think they got enough. I think I used some of that boost on that. Yeah, I gave Bama some points just to be safe, but I think Bama wins. So IU to win by shutout plus 350, Tennessee to score 50 points. And if we're going like lotto-ish, like I think Texas can win this football game. I think, Arch Manning is a true underclassman quarterback that is still working on developing, but maybe getting better as the season goes. He's been playing well. I think I saw he's got 6 pass touchdowns and like 0 turnover worthy plays. Even if you take Texas plus 6.5 or take Texas plus 7.5, I guess, with this parlay, just because we need another leg just to have a degree of safety, that's plus 1287 and then boost it. I might do that. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to get out of here though. like I said, I got a ton to do. What? You about to type them out? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's been great. He has certainly not lived up to the hype, that's for sure. The real question is, does Wisconsin score on Indiana? That's the real question. This is quickly turned back into how it used to be for lunchtime in the lab, where I would just sit here and talk instead of like doing a show or whatever. So Wisconsin got shut out by Ohio State and they got shut out by Iowa. 2 real good defenses. I'm taking it. I'm taking that shit. Dro. Which one would I take out? Probably Bama. Bama wins, but that is probably the most risky. USC, it could be a little hairy too, but Bama has the biggest chance for an upset, in my opinion. I like the under first half, like I mentioned. All right, I gotta get out of here though. Like I said, I've got a ton of stuff to do. If Ty was here, we show would have gone a little longer, but I appreciate some of you guys hopping in and keeping me company instead. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I'm gonna close her out here. And if you're not in the Discord, I got a link to the bottom. And if you're on X up here, if you're on YouTube down here, I got a link to join. All caps, full court, kind of like basketball, 50% off. Get your month for $20 or 2 weeks for like $12 or something like that. So I mean, it's not. I don't set the prices. I just work here thing, but it's not bad, So I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna drop some more plays in the Discord, and we're gonna see what we can do to win some bets tonight. I will see some of you guys later. Hopefully, with Ty next week.